Good morning, Bulldogs. I am here today because I know some of us, even me included at times, are a little confused with number lines. So I just want to go through a few steps with you and see if this might possibly help you better understand them. So I'm going to start with this first one where I have the problem 6 times 1/3. Before I even want you to worry, I'm going to zoom in right here. Before I even want you to think about a tape diagram or number line, what I want you to just look at is 6 times 1/3 really means that you have 6 copies of 1/3. Okay, we could do it as repeated addition. For example, 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, and then plus another 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 is 6/3. Okay, that's all we're doing. So 6 times 1/3 is actually 6/3. Okay, what I want you to see down here is that if we have 6 as a whole number, 6 is really over the number 1. Okay, we don't write it like that because we know it's a whole number, but I want you to understand that when we multiply, we actually are just multiplying across with fractions. It's very different than when we're subtracting or adding, when the denominators have to be the same. When we multiply, we just multiply across. So we do 6 times 1, which is 6, and then 1 times 3, which is 3. But again, a lot of us, as we get more used to this, we don't even think about that there's a 1 underneath here. We realize it's, oh, okay, 6 times 1 is 6, and we put that over the 3. So that's how we get 6/3. What I want you to notice down here is I actually showed you in a tape diagram how to write 6/3. So what I need you to realize, there's a very fine line in between here because I want you to realize that this is one whole on its own. Okay, this is one whole, and then I probably should have labeled that like we normally do. So this is a total of 3/3. And then this is another one whole. This is another 3/3. I want you to see this because sometimes when people see the tape diagram related to the number line, they can kind of see, okay, that makes sense now. So when I actually create my number line, again, I want you to notice that up here, I first had to figure out what 6/3 equals in a mixed number or in a whole number in this case. And so because it equals 2, then I know what my number line needs to look like. So then down here, I want you to notice that I did number all the thirds here, just so that you would have an idea. So as soon as I got to 3/3, that's when we land on one whole. As soon as I got to 6/3, that's when I land on 2 wholes. Okay, I want to show you with one more example and see if this makes a little bit more sense. So our next example, we have the number 13 times 1/5. So again, I showed you this already. 13 times 1/5 is essentially 13 over 1 times 1/5. So when we do that math, again, it's 13 times 1 is 13. 1 times 5 is 5. So we have 13/5. Again, to break that down, what I want you to think about, we know that 5/5 is what makes one whole. So over here, I broke it into, okay, 5/5, and then another 5/5 is 10/5. I'm at 10/5 right now. So then 11, 12, 13. Oh, that means I have 3/5 left over. So I want to show you that 5/5 equals 1, 5/5 equals 1, and then I just wrote 3/5 equals 3/5 so that you could see where this 2 and 3/5 comes from. So again, when we get that answer, we realize, our number line needs to start at 0, but this time we don't want to just stop at 2. We need to stop at that next whole number. So that next whole number is actually 3 because we need to go 2 and some more. So as we look down here, I actually, again, you'll see that I left a little bit of space, but I want you to see that I actually drew in 5/5, which is 1, another 5/5, which is 2, and then on this one, notice that I only filled in 3 of those 5 because that's all that 13/5 is the 2 and 3/5, not a whole nother 5/5. So then down here, I made the number line match my tape diagram so you could see what the connection is between these and why we use the number line to kind of show our work. Because again, what I want you to think of you're doing 13 times 1/5. So essentially, you're going 1, 2, 3, all the way. 13 times 1/5 means you're adding 1/5 at a time if we talk about it in repeated addition, or the easier way is to multiply. So I hope that is helpful for all of you. What I do want you to get from this is that I know number lines can be tricky and so can tape diagrams. I want you to understand that overall, as you get older, I want you to be able to use what model works for you. So if you understand showing it this way, if you understand showing it on a number line, if you understand breaking it down this way, I really want you to do what works for you. And if you need to skip the number line for now, or you need to use a different model, go ahead and use that different model or method, because essentially it comes down to what's going to help you in the long run and in the real world. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.